That does sound amazing.
All right, I'm rolling the mics.
Okay.
All right, and at the end is the Final Fantasy VII remake. Okay.
Of course it is.
So they only showed like four like game trailers, but
Interesting. Well, I'll look at it later. We're talking about the state of play, by the way. Unfortunately, I did ditch the first recording, so that means nobody has to listen about desks anymore. I'm sorry. And also, you can't hear me complain about how my percentile dice were literally in the bottom of the bag. Luckily, I didn't put those away. But yes, to let the audience know, basically, we were getting started on recording, and then we kind of stumbled into a discussion about the direction of the campaign and stuff, and it was like, oh, we should probably do this off mic. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Get this figured out.
well, the thing is when I try to articulate myself in actual words, I get really messed up real easily.
Yeah, no, I know this.
Yeah,
so I was like, okay, you don't want to talk right now. All right, we'll end it up. We'll talk about some stuff in text.
Yeah, I do know that. I tend to have trouble doing that as well, so...
So we had to take it to text real quick.
Yeah, we had to take a $5 and I just ditched the recording because it was like 5 minutes of nonsense at that point. So it was like, okay.
Yeah.
And to make sure, both for the audience and for you, I'm on the same page. Basically, the discussion came up that it was like, these guys, particularly Lucky, wanted more time and ability to kind of establish their own objectives rather than running through just whatever command tells them to do, but they also didn't necessarily want to step on my toes or derail anything I'd actually written, which basically the point came down to, okay, just make sure you give me a couple of days ahead of time then, alright, because there's not much toes to step on, which is basically what we had to get out there, so...
Yeah, pretty much just like...
Just making sure we're all on the same page.
Pretty much like mid-session discussions are taken ahead of time.
Yeah, and the warning that if we ended up with some in-character stuff, that might mean I have to go, okay, hold on. You guys want to go do a thing. There's not a lot of campaign notes, so you're going to have to give me like 15 minutes to roll some dice and figure some stuff out.
Yeah, just to make it make sense.
Because,
and for complications.
You guys' character sheets are longer than my notes for this campaign.
Fun fact, I was able to actually bring my character sheet down from 13 pages to 9.
You went back up to 9, I think. All right, well, before we get too deep, I will very quickly throw out the Patreon bumper. Remind everybody this episode is brought to you by our patrons, like Aga Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kyle Denton, Nestor Flores, and Sotosan0424. And if you like what we do, you should consider supporting us on Patreon so we can do more stuff, and you can get cool stuff too. So, we didn't get this far last time, but what'd you guys do with your characters since the last session?
Oh shit, what did I do?
A decent chunk of XP, so...
I spent it on Titan's Throw.
Yep.
See, I still have 200.
And then I think I spent... What else did I spend it on?
Oh, I remember what I spent some on. So, I spent a fuck ton of it on the mobility aspect because I bought, Spider Walk, Water Walk, Mermaid's Blessing, and Fleet of Foot.
Nice.
Yeah,
For me, I got Titan's Throw, and I got plus 10 in navigation.
Alright, that'll actually be super helpful for this.
Yeah.
And I'm only about, I think, 700 XP away from getting done with my Earth tree.
That's fucking crazy, yo.
Also, speaking of mobility, that's actually a good dropping off point. You guys know this already, but for the audience, it's been a little bit of update work. I fleshed out the mobility tree a little bit because...
Sorry, I almost fell out my chair. That has no back.
That's right, you gotta remember that. That is one thing I'm sad we did lose from the original recording, because that was a very telling conversation. Lucky, anybody who's listened to us for any length of time, and I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're probably a pretty hardcore fan. Lucky's been complaining about his chair. Well, he switched back to his old chair that has no back, and he's seeing if it works.
And I just tried leaning back, and the way I'm leaning... Because the stool still leans back, like it's a leaning chair.
Mm-hmm.
So I leaned back, I went back, and if I hadn't grabbed the fucking chair, I would have went down. So if you heard my very terrified gasp there, I almost just fucking bit it.
Yeah, that came through loud and clear where you almost died just there.
Yeah.
But we had this conversation, I'm pretty sure, in text form about mobility tree, which was basically is there any way to call stuff to you? And I'm like, I don't think so. I should probably do that.
I was wondering about why that was popping out, and that's like, oh.
Yeah, I think it was like a conversation
that makes like 1,000, like 10,000% like sense.
I think because we were originally talking about, like I was talking about, there's no like space dimension to like hold your shit.
Yeah, there was no like storage stuff, and I was like, yeah, that's really complex. That's that's like high level stuff. But then you were like, but should there be a way for I can just call stuff to me? And I'm like, let me get back to you on that.
Yeah.
So I wrote the
this like super sensitive. So like now there's more stuff between me and teleport. But then it's like, ooh, this is still useful.
Yeah,
I don't know, I
added two new mobility spells. The first one is Conjure, which is they're a little bit unique in that you have to basically they're very hard to do out of combat. You gotta like take a second, get a minute.
It takes a full minute
to prep, and basically create a mystical link. Then you attach that link. So Conjure, you attach it to an item which weighs less than your degrees of success. So like you can't conjure a car.
And it requires Blink, and then Teleport requires Conjure.
Yeah, I slipped it in the middle. But basically, when you do that, after you establish the link, it is not time sensitive. You can maintain that link as long as you like. You just have only so many link slots. But so long as you're within, I think it's kilometers equal to your will. Not your... Is it... Yeah, I think it's will. If it's not will, I should set it to will so you have a decent amount of room.
You set it to, I think...
I'm lost in my own document right now. It's like, what even is stuff? I also can't spell right now. That's twice I have spelled to fail that.
Spelled to fail that? That's on recording. I'm gonna have to double check you later and see if you said.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Now that you're making it, like, I'm not sure if I said that right either. I definitely can't spell it right. There we go. I think it took me like 6 tries to spell Conjure correctly.
Isn't it Conjure?
Yes, I was accidentally hitting the G key in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So long as it's within your will in kilometers, right? So then at any point, as a half action, you summon it to your hand, it's ready.
Oh yeah, I'm totally doing that to my sword someday.
So that's a really good one. And then now there's a new capstone above area teleport, which is called Return. So you do the same minute thing. You create a magical link. You tag a person, place, or thing. That lasts days to equal to your DOS, but at any point, as a response action, you can spend it. You immediately are pulled towards your linked object. You are pulled to it, and you take any stuff you're carrying and any people you're carrying with you, and then you become fatigued. So it's not like a thing you do to be like, okay, I'm gonna pull myself out of this combat. I'm gonna like drink some juice and some Gatorade, and I'm gonna come right back, right? But it's a very good, oh shit, I need to get out of here button, which it should be because it's high level, and that has no range requirement. So long as you have enough days and your degrees of success, you can like, be shipped to Siberia by a train and just go, nope, going back now.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah,
I feel like Mage Mail would use that.
Probably
I looked at the whole terms of all the spells. I noticed that none of them actually create like difficult terrains. I'm actually think custom spell for that.
That could be a good one.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Doing an attack that actually leaves difficult terrain afterwards, cone shaped.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I tried not to make individual spells too, like...
I've been pretty much just, like, spell crafting. I guess, yeah, I've been pretty much, like, custom spell crafting just to see the in and outs.
Do it. Learn the ways. It's
actually pretty fun, but it's just like... And then it's like, oh, there's no cost for this sort of expensive. I wanted to do that. So it's like, question mark.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, you gotta talk with your GM. Luckily, your GM made this game, so he has a good ballpark. Yeah. But yeah, like, I tried not to make individual spell effects too dense, which is probably why, like, for instance, Freezing Breath could probably be like, oh, and you turn the terrain where you hit into difficult terrain, because it's icy, but it's like, oh, it's a whole extra line I have to add and stuff. And who knows, I may go back and do that later. Excuse me, later.
It might just be one of those more creative things with some of the spells because you can manipulate in certain ways.
Mm-hmm. There are plenty of spells about ignoring difficult terrain. I think like there's a couple of like wood ones are just like, you are one with the forest. The trees do not fuck with you.
It's like, trees and you are bros.
Is there one where you actually
give me 5 branch?
Trees?
Oh yeah, then as for in terms of other XP expenditure, spent $250 on cross training mentor for my companion.
I'm just
And as I learned, very much after the second one, I had to go back, change stuff with a companion, but just decided to go with the stat boost.
He's very educated. All right. Well, I think we got all our usual pregame preamble out of the way. Our dicking around for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Talking about game stuff. Okay. So
I have
well, go ahead if you got something.
Oh no, I was just gonna tell about like what my future goals for like buying stuff was. And I was like, I can save that.
Well, yeah, you're probably gonna get an opportunity. So, it's been a couple days basically. So if you've like taken any wounds, do your natural healing twice. Get all your blood back. Get your luck points back.
Oh yeah.
Once again, technically, I should roll post-mission fatigue, but you've had plenty of time to rest because you'd be injured anyway. So there's no point.
Time to get the Aether Core charged back up. So.
Oh yeah, well, and you got a whole new rack of those too. So.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of that. Mission,
but if I remember,
supplies back.
Plus that battery.
But if I remember correctly, we are only issued the 2 in our standard loadout, and so basically that third one we got way back is one that we'd have to charge ourselves, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's what he meant by saying.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to, if you keep a dud core and want to like go back to base and recharge it, sure. So long as you have access to your base, that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet.
And you had plenty of time.
Ethereum Core C has 10 charges again.
I should probably figure out what the math of plug in Ethereum Core 2 battery to get charges is, but I don't feel like it right now.
Yeah, I was like looking at that description, is like, where's the recharge for it?
You just hold it in your hand and like hold it up and be like, charge.
No, it's an electric conversion.
Yeah, I thought it was that too.
So there's probably some kind of like efficiency, maybe like 2 hours to get a charge back as opposed to spending 1 hour to, it's normally 1 hour to spend a charge. It's like 2 hours to get it back.
Yeah.
Even then, that's still like 20 hours.
I think that sounds about right because I don't think electricity at this time is too efficient.
All right. So it's been a couple days. You've been fully rested. Not that you were super seriously injured, Wolfgang, but you were pseudo attempted assassinated. So
yeah,
some people were probably like, okay, at least for the first day, make sure you get your bed rest and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's after a morning meal. It's mid morning. You're probably this is another thing you talked about off mic in text was you really want to formulate like a plan of action or a report of the ongoing tactical situation and send it to command and be like, hey, could you fucking do something about this bullshit? I can't fight a battleship as much as I want to try.
I can't fight this like.
I can't fight ships. I can't fight hunter-killer units. Excuse me. It's like I can't fight lack of supplies.
I can't punch nothing.
I can't punch air.
You're not trying hard enough, kid.
You can punch air if you do 110%.
That's probably about high command things. So basically, yes, in my downtime, I spent a lot of time actually. I say downtime, but no, I was at my fucking desk. I was writing furiously. Basically, it's an outline report that because we've had such a lucky streak and victories and whatnot, we basically had the target put on our back, specifically my unit. So basically, the report is to caution off. What's the word I want to use? Highly offensive operations until we can build a better foundation and resolve our supply situation. And
possible scouting missions that could delve into enemy territory that could have those hunter units.
So basically, yeah, it's like infamous on more scouting missions on enemy raids and what's the word I want to say? Acquisition. I want to say maybe organize an airstrike on the naval vessels. Said that is still in the theoretical phase and not recommended for from actual implementation at this time, but something to consider. And basically, a period of time to basically rearm and retrain the specific units so we may deal with these unconventional tactics, as they come up again.
All right, why don't you go ahead and give me tactics or appeal for how good you wrote that? Either tactics for how smarty pants you wrote it, or appeal for, like, dear esteemed high command, greatest high command in all the land, please give me more soldiers and bullets.
Let's see here. I think I'm... Actually, I'll go with appeal. Because... Booyah! I got a fucking star that gives me plus 20. Yeah, I think I get a plus 10. Let me double check that. Yes, I do. Okay. Yeah. Do I have a plus 10 in my tactics? No, I don't. Ah, no! Dice, come back! Fuck you. Okay, 18. Let's see here. Wait, yeah, this is why I pull out a calculator again.
Always have a calculator.
It's really needed. Okay, so... I don't think I got any other fancy bonuses, so it'll be charisma, it'll be 70... Total minus 18. 5 degrees of success.
All right, well, that's a pretty good letter of whatever you want to call it. Here's my report. Please don't let them shoot me.
Yeah.
So while you're tapping that out, you're in your office, so your intercom buzzes. Actually, wait, no. I forgot my detail I wanted to say. So while you've been kind of in your quote unquote downtime, your Exo, your companion, has been doing the other half of her job, which is, other than babysitting you constantly, which is when you're not doing your work, she's off somewhere doing your work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So she has been, like, doing command stuff, like, you know, jogging down, making sure everybody's going on patrols, you know, doing your daily drills and stuff. Possibly putting the fear of God into your men.
Yeah, she does that.
So, actually, there's probably nobody manning your outside desk, so you get a little knock on your door.
Mm-hmm.
Polite knock. Right? You know?
And, you know... I'll be working, scribbling, for instance, enter.
All right. Door creaks open. It's the Major.
Oh, shit. Major, I will stand and salute hastily.
All right. You know, she gives you the proper salute and is in, like, at ease, you know, gestures for you to sit down.
Oh.
Takes a seat.
Oh.
She pulls a small object from a little pouch and she tosses it to you. It's magnetic, so you can catch it pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, it appears to be a steel core bullet of, you want to say, about 12 millimeters in diameter. Looks a little worse for the wear, like it's been through maybe some reforging. It's got some heat marks on it. There's some little flakes of, like, copper jacketing that are stuck on there. While you stare at it, the Major will say, "The repair crews pulled this out of your front breastplate the other day. I had an alchemist reconstruct it. I figured you'd want to see it before I sent it to intelligence."
It's a big bullet, isn't it?
Oh, yes. This is a experimental round. This is the kind of stuff they're proposing to stop, you know, engine blocks in armored cars and blow up bunkers. And it appears the enemy decided to shoot one at you. I feel like I should say you're lucky you wear heavier than standard armor. However, I also suspect that if you didn't, the enemy may have decided just to shoot at you with a regular rifle bullet. The world may never know.
That means I would have been shot either way.
Fair enough.
I guess I should be chuckling that I'm making them spend money to take me out, I suppose.
She kind of gets a serious look on her face and says, "Well, unfortunately, I begin to suspect that may be our long-term strategic goal," she gives. She doesn't, like, give the scare quotes, but, like, the scare quotes are very much in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
The idea being that we are just here to expend the enemy's resources so they cannot expend them at home. The long-term strategic reports are beginning to be a little bit more pessimistic. It may be some years before this war resolves. And of course, if our major opposing forces, such as the Commonwealth, have to expend so many of their resources down here on the other end of the world to stop us from doing whatever it is we're here to do, that may ease the burden on the fatherland, as it were. Still, we have gained a little bit of knowledge. She kind of, you know, if you're done looking at it, she'll take it back.
Mm-hmm. I'll just hand it back over.
Yeah. She kind of looks at what you're scribbling and says, "You know, technically, I think the corpsman said that you're supposed to be resting for the next couple of days."
Well, nothing like a giant experimental round to put the love of work into a man. Especially when that work is writing reports basically petitioning High Command to maybe, cut us a bit of slack, I guess.
You are a victim of your own success. She kind of sits there quietly for a second and says, Captain, have I ever told you how I earned my medals?
I'm sorry, you cut out there. You have to repeat that.
She said, has she ever told you the story of how she got promoted?
I mean, if you want me to recount the interesting stories of what you did by drunken men deep in their cups, but
No.
from the actual account, no.
Well, it's fairly simple. The war had just begun, and I was in the final phase of my officer training, and as I'm sure you did, they sent me out as an officer cadet to finish my training in the field. Under normal circumstances, this would be perfectly pleasant, but when there's an actual war on, it's a lot more dangerous. I was assigned to do night patrols with a training officer, because they felt that, as is typical for many of us void mages, I would be much more gifted at sensory. I am a little, but I can also do other things. But they had me training as a recon unit. We were flying on the Eastern Front, where the Scythians were already making advances. We were ambushed. My training officer was using an older model of mobility unit. He took one right in the main drive, and it had, shall we say, a catastrophic failure. Very unfortunate. Never even got the rescue hook. So I was left alone, a cadet officer versus a squad of enemy night witches who are very good at their jobs. And command told me that I would have, if I wanted to maintain air superiority, I would have to hold them there for a good 2 minutes. You know, the usual, this and that. We don't have anybody in the air. You'll have to hold out until we can send someone. Nowadays, I expect if I got on the horde and cried that I was all alone versus 6 people, after you all got done laughing at me, there'd be, hundreds of mages in the air. But this is what happens when you ask for help before you're famous. I ended that night with 2 spell kills, 3 rifle kills, and 1 bayonet kill. And made ace. I don't like to think on that time, it's very blurry to me, but now I am here, leading a unit, in vastly different terrain, technically outside of my original training specialty as a recon officer, and yet somehow it keeps working. And I'm not entirely sure it's all my fault, Captain. She gives you like a mock glare.
What can I say? I don't like getting hurt.
Oh, that I understand perfectly. Well, you continue to not get hurt. It would cost me an awful lot of sleep if she holds up the bullet. One of these caught up with you. That said, let's hope that we can prevent that in future.
Well, I've already submitted plans to the support division on some additional upgrades, but at this point, it's just going to be a matter of escalation.
By the way, have you? I've had a word from the supply division themselves. Apparently, your senior NCO has received some kind of certification and been issued a pair of revolvers, and the quartermasters are telling me that he has done some god-awful modifications to them. Did you heard about this?
Yes, I did sign off on that.
So long as he doesn't expect anybody else to maintain them.
No, that is completely complicit in his requirements. He's been granted access to the workshop so he may maintain his stuff, and he's allowed to have people help them, but as in with my personal equipment, all maintain and upkeep of it is regulated to the soldier in charge, and the military is not in no way whatsoever responsible for it.
Good, because I've seen the size of the bullets he's using. I would hate to have to put that on a request sheet.
No. But on that same note, I said there are plans. I said we are in a battle of escalation now. I can of course throw more armor on, make myself even more impenetrable, but of course they will just answering time, which I guess is part of the reason of pulling resources. But at one point, either we're gonna win or they are.
That is how war generally works, yes. I see we both went to military college.
You'd be surprised how many people don't understand that.
She kind of pauses. You can tell she's thinking to herself and says, yes, I've met some people. Unfortunately, while the Central Command back home, and Stahl seems fairly conscious of the, at least, potential long-term ramifications of the plan. There are, unfortunately, some members of our colonial force who aren't exactly sure what it is we're doing in warfare. Half of them are torn between, well, obviously, she kind of does like a fake, gruff, old fat man voice, which I can't mimic a 17-year-old girl pretending to be an old fat dude, but it's quite funny, I'm sure.
I will only smile slightly.
Half of them are like, we have repelled the enemy at every turn. We don't need to go anywhere. We can just perfectly outlast them. We need take no further offensive measures. Never minding that the enemy will not be quite content to sit back and have lost any amount of territory, let alone what they're doing to our supply lines right now. And then the other half are telling me, why haven't you captured the capital of Capeland by now and completely thrown them out? Never mind that there are miles and miles of enemy territory filled with civilians and angry infantrymen, let alone goodness knows how many mages they have shipped down here by now. Well, the war will probably not get better before it gets worse. It'll be the other way around, if it gets better at all. But she kind of nods to your reports. Know that you have my support, since you have supported me through all this, so I will be sure to make sure Command takes your recommendations to heart. I have heard that after this latest incident with the victory, that through some of my personal connections, so you in the audience recalls, two of the Major's older sisters are in Naval Command, that the U-boat Command is hopefully dispatching a couple of units this way. Perhaps they can be used to deter enemy ships from hunting too deeply here. Or if not, at the very least, if they have to defend their own convoys from our attacks, maybe they can stop blowing up ours. That may be some time before reinforcements arrive, though. The unfortunate problem with being out here in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, the Suez Canal is open right now at this time. Crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Either way, it's still a fucking long ass.
Oh
trip.
yeah, no, they gotta. You're at the bottom of Africa. They gotta go the long loop around.
Mm-hmm. I mean, either it's like literally either you go out the Med into the Atlantic and around, or you go through the Suez or into the fucking Indian and fucking around.
Yeah, and also I don't know if you guys can access the Suez because that's British held.
Oh, it probably is. Yeah.
That was their big thing. They held onto the canal for a long time, so that's why they're fighting out in the middle of fuck up nowhere, Egypt.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll take you a while. And actually, I don't even. Well, you might. They would probably, because you guys have allies that are on the Med, so they might ship a U-boat from closer. The other alternative is ships from Germany leave via the Kiel Canal in Denmark out into the North Sea and go all the way around that way. Naval logistics are fun, kids. Anyway, the Major basically going to wrap up her conversation and say, well, enjoy your rest. There is a... Hold on, let me get this rank right. There is a Oberstleutnant, that's Lieutenant Colonel, coming down tomorrow from Strategic Command, Military Intelligence. He'll be here at 0800 to deliver a briefing. Apparently, there is perhaps not a combat-heavy mission, but some matter of strategic importance that they wish us to take care of. This, of course, will be a private briefing. If anybody asks, you just have an appointment in my office at that time. We will not be using the briefing theater.
I have a feeling that I'm going to have to do something really weird.
Well, we'll see. Can't be any weirder than any of the things you've already done. Jumping out of a plane. She kind of like, shakes her head as she walks out of your office. All right, so basically you've got the whole day ahead of you. If you've got any pre-mission briefing stuff you want to get started on, get out of your way.
Nothing much. Gonna head out, check in with support. I'll be all like, all right, you see this shield? I'm gonna need an even bigger shield. And they're gonna look at me like, what? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, like that. Okay. Hans, do we have anything in the back? 9.
Oh no, I'm totally gonna fucking make it, but I'm gonna worry about that after this mission.
Yeah, because I already told you kind of like what your objectives are, so you already know that this is you're hopefully not gonna be in a situation where you need shitloads of cover, but we'll see.
Yeah. But other than that, make sure that everyone's patrol schedules are good and ready. EXO is continuing to put the fear of God into the men. Drink lots of coffee, eat food. Make sure Ulrich knows that he is the one who's going to take care of his damn guns, these damn monstrosities.
Which, by the way, if the audience is wondering, that's because, so I think this was on Mike that Marth said that Ulrich qualified for Gunslinger last time. So there's been some talk off mic in between sessions about what he's doing to these poor guns, which I believe at this point they are Magnum Frontier patterned.
Yes.
So,
only 3 bullets.
Yeah, he's firing like 600 or 500 Nitro Express or something in them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yes, the logistics team is looking at him like, what have you done to these poor guns?
It's like, more power.
It's like, I'm more concerned on how the hell you hold on to your goddamn arm every time you fire one of them.
He's strong.
Because magic.
Because, like, you're firing those things akimbo.
Well, he can.
Jason.
I have like 40 toughness.
Oh, damn. You tough, yo.
I mean, there is recoil in this game, right?
Yes and no. Like, there's a brace tag for stuff. Typically, a revolver is considered like light enough that you don't have to. Like, you probably want to make sure you're planted pretty good, but you are a big, strong, tough boy.
Yes.
And then
I'm just
that's
right
such
now
a weird thing. Like,
just right now writing down all the stuff that I need to buy.
And over here, I'm like 30, strength 30, toughness 33. I'm just a regular boy. I'm military trained.
I only have 30 in strength. That's why I probably got Firewalk, so I can just do that instead of regular climbing.
Spells are good, man. Like, I don't know if we like really went into this like on mic last time, but looking more and more at the neutral trees, there's a lot of good stuff in here.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we found some emergent play that like
the
elemental aspects are good, but like they are
elemental,
focused.
There's elemental for steel, but that allows you to get more armor, but then harden is like that, but better because there's no elemental weakness.
Yeah, and you can apply like harden
unless there's suddenly a weakness to neutral spells.
No, not really.
And like with harden, you can just like apply it to just about fucking anything. Like temper, you actually have to apply to like metal object. It's all like, you see this tree? Fucking harden.
Right. Now there is a similar to temper for wood. That's ironwood spell. But that's only wooden objects, It's like there's the elemental trees are very specialized. They're very focused on obviously elemental stuff. So it can be hard to kind of like branch out in them, but your neutral trees are your neutral trees. So those are just how ether exists in anything. And they're very handy.
They are very handy. I was like, I think I mentioned this. Like, I don't regret buying fire aspect because, goddamn, explosive rounds, you are amazing. I love you. Mwah. Same with like Firestarter.
Thankfully, my spreadsheet allows me to calculate stuff for me, so I don't have to calculate stuff. But now I'm just wondering if I'm going to have enough.
You'll get there eventually. But yeah, if I thought this like more out and not like what was the term I use? What was the term where I get like heavily influenced by one thing and I just dump all my XP in it?
I don't know. You did have something for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know. I know for the implants for the roles, I definitely need to get the Artificer so I can get 4 more slots.
Yeah, I am glad that enchanting items, the slot choice has actually worked out. That's like I've talked about this before. Where I'm like, God, I felt like we'll see maybe if you guys use the push rules now to like spend a little more. But I was like, God, yeah, I feel like you guys are spending Ethereum charges way too easily. Enchanted items, no. I'm like, yes, good. Make hard choices. You don't have enough slots. Always that balancing aspect.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay.
So, yep. But otherwise, it's going to be business as usual as I formulate plans and hope my report doesn't take fucking forever to reach the fucking high command. Because, like, I don't like, I'm pretty sure, like, it goes by, like, mail, and it's, like, just regular mail or telegrams. Like, how's it go?
Well, yeah. When you're talking about high command, that's probably like colonial command. So that's luckily
colonial.
only got to go a few buildings over. You probably put that in a like a folder and hand it to an adjutant or something, a secretary officer who's like, yes, I will put this on. Probably at this point a Colonel so and so's desk or something. Actually reminds me. I need to double check what the German ranks are. I have an idea of who like your boss's boss is. There should be a dedicated like staff officer, not a field officer, so like above a colonel. But I'm not sure what the German ranking system is. Something like a lieutenant or brigadier general, who's basically like the highest ranking military mage in this colony. You guys don't really get to see him much. You probably met him like. He probably put the medal on you, and you probably see him occasionally at, like, giant meetings.
He is a man of mystery.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because he's got a full-blown desk job.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably had that desk job before the war started, so he's a little dug in. But yeah, you'd be putting it on his desk, basically, and maybe you're putting it on one of his staff officers or senior NCO's desk, so they can be like, "Yes, this report is good. I will forward it onto him." But yeah, it'll percolate. I'm
just thinking of a heavy mobility unit that's just shaped like a fucking desk.
I didn't leave my desk. As he pulls, a heavy machine gun out from under it. Daka 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 daka. You can fit a Maxim gun in a big enough desk.
Well, as I said, heavy mobility units can get a weapon mount.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, your primary problem will not be does he see your report, especially since you did roll really well in writing it. The problem will be, okay, what does he do about that now?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Let's see. So you guys aren't really doing anything important. We can go ahead and fast forward to the briefing.
Yep.
You show up at the major's office, I assume with your XO.
Mm-hmm.
You're let in. The major is there. You probably drop your all salutes. Because this guy's, like I said, a lieutenant colonel and Oberstleutnant. Now, he does not have any mage rank markings on him, so as far as you can tell, he is conventional command. So you will be polite and you will salute him, but he's not part of your normal chain of command or anything. So this guy, he introduces himself. He's Oberstleutnant Jonathan Holland.
I like his name.
He is a very normal-looking gentleman. Looks maybe a little bit young for his rank, but that could just be how he looks, His hair's
spy! Sorry.
His hair's a little long for a proper military cut, but very well maintained. He's clean shaven. He's got some very nice glasses on. Looks like he doesn't have like a brace of medals like you do, but he's got a few campaign ribbons, so he's been out and about and done some stuff.
Good job.
He's got an adjutant, a valet there, basically, who's got a little... Basically, everybody gets introduced, he's about ready to start, he opens up a box and offers a cigar. Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
So, he takes out a cigar, he cuts off the tip and light it up. If anybody else in the briefing wants a cigar, he's offering them.
I will abstain.
Okay. Alright. So, basically, he gets a few good puffs in, and then like, alright, I will cut to the chase. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this is unusual for us in our conventional strategic command to make requests of you, but we have a bit of an ongoing situation that I believe could use your expertise, Captain. So, some time ago, I dispatched a scouting unit, a small platoon, to cross into enemy lines along the desert flank here. He's got, your big strategic map of, like, all of the south of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And so he kind of gestures that, like, they kind of, like, skirted the desert in the north and ended up somewhere in Capeland, South Africa, basically. And he's like, so I sent them out some time ago, and they have been out gathering strategic intelligence, similar to the reports that your mages used when you led that daring assault on those landing craft. So they've been out there gathering this intelligence, trying to figure out what the enemy is doing since we've invaded their territory and stalled their counteroffensives. Just in case they don't plan on just sieging us out via the sea. However, it has come to me that the team is in a little bit of a sticky situation, and they are attempting to extract with their intelligence back across our borders, roughly in this area. And he kind of like gestures to somewhere in the northeast of your position. Okay. Kind of once again, kind of on the edge of the desert where it starts getting green again. Similar not the same area, but similar to the area where you had your fun little chimera encounter. You know, that's where you guys started back and getting to, like, scrubland and stuff, Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, unfortunately, this unit was very small. It was 12 men and a couple of local guides. They were equipped with horses at the time, but they have been found out by the enemy and under pursuit and had to ditch their horses. I've been in contact with them through coded radio. However, their portable sets, their wireless was a saddlebags model, which means their pace has been slowed carrying it, or they may have ditched it entirely, which is making contact a little bit difficult, especially considering the range of such things. I'm sure you know how difficult it can be to get proper radio connectivity. So the mission I need your people to undertake is preferably with a light unit, so as to not alarm the enemy or any patrols they may have going. We're going to need you to fly out to this location at this time and date, and he gives you a time and date, basically. How much downtime do I want to give you guys for rolling? This is urgent, so you've probably only got like a day to prep. So not this evening, but tomorrow evening, basically. Be at these locations at this point, and he, gives you the map coordinates. To basically receive them on our side of the border, make sure they are not pursued across the border by enemy forces, and if necessary, give them a forceful extraction via your mobility units. Which would be unfortunate if they have to leave anything behind, so hopefully they can cross the territory on their own. Now, there are a couple of complications we've observed, so hopefully they will be able to get in contact with you via radio. If not, they will have to signal you via electronic torch, basically flashlights. This border area, they have known about it, they have cached some survival supplies there. If they can find them, or you can spot them for them, that should give them ample food and water to make the crossing back to the nearest military base. There is also a naturally occurring water uprising here. He kind of points out there's a little bit of an oasis, a spring, which allows this area to be green, which is good. The terrain in this region should be heavily covered. You're talking tall grasses. This may make it difficult for you to spot the friendly units, but it should also make it difficult for our enemies if they're in the area. Your objectives are fairly simple. You're going to provide aerial support for them. We believe that the enemy may have left some traps or snares, not mines or anything complex, but some small items to delay anybody attempting to cross their border, which our men will have to cover. On our side of the border, we have positioned a truck, which will carry all of them. Your mission is simple. You are to, as I said, escort them, cover them, provide air cover for them, and move them over the target, and either extract them yourselves or allow them to get to the truck, which they can power up and move out back to civilization. The enemy will be on low alert at this point, and this is a wilderness area. There will be no natural lighting. However, we wish you to avoid blowing their cover, as it were, so we will be asking you at the Strategic Command Office to use extra caution. Preferably no bright lights, minimum signals. If at all possible, you should avoid firing a weapon, as that will be a dead giveaway to your position. And obviously, as you know, ammo supplies are limited, so don't expend anything you can't afford to replace. We are looking forward to your help in this matter, and hopefully, these men can get back to us with reconnaissance information, photographs, and hard evidence. In addition to what they've been able to report minimally via radio, we'll be able to construct a proper strategic plan for ongoing operations in this theater. And so basically he outlines you the location you gotta go. The mission is, as we said, it's an escort mission. Your primary objective is to securely get these guys out. Your secondary objective is don't let anybody know you're even here. And your tertiary objective is don't use too many bullets, please.
Uh-huh.
So the terrain you're looking at is going to be covered type, so tall grasses, low shrubs, not a lot of visibility from air to ground, but hopefully you guys don't even have to see anything. You just guys have to stand over these guys, get in contact, and be like, okay, we're above you. If anybody pops out of the grass, we'll jump down there and stab him or something, or we'll walk you guys away from the danger.
Mm-hmm.
They can grab their supply cache and jump in their getaway vehicle and drive on out of here. Now, the complication here is you're going to be doing this at dusk, about nightfall time, and current weather predictions are limited visibility. Looks like there's going to be some fog rolling in. So, perfect for stealth, but y'all are going to have a hard time seeing shit from up there. Do you have any questions for the Lieutenant Colonel about your operation?
I gotta mull this over in my head for a moment.
Sure. Well, we'll give you some time.
So,
the
out of
Major
characters.
can get a little bit back and forth.
So basically, we're gonna go wait on our current border for these guys to basically make a run for it.
Yeah.
And our objective is just to get them to their truck.
Yeah, ideally. The ideal situation is your objective is these guys get back to our territory and deliver their intelligence.
Okay.
The Lieutenant Colonel is not necessarily concerned with how they get it. The plan is for them to get in a truck and that has been stashed there for them to drive back out, and they'll just get out of here.
And that truck's at that supplies point they're talking about, right?
Basically, just inside your half of the border, there's a little supply cache where they've concealed, probably like a little shed or something, like a little prefab building where they've concealed a truck, spare gas, and some food and water so they can make it back through the desert and get back to you. That's if everything goes according to plan. However, if things are not going according to plan, like, he hasn't been in contact with these guys for a couple days since they lost their horses, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So last he heard, they are under pursuit. They had to ditch the horses because they were too obvious. So they've been traveling slower,
right?
And they're gonna cross the point at this. This is the predetermined rendezvous point. So he's asking for basically air cover. They want some flying mages there. Worst comes to worst, there's he said 14 of these guys. Hopefully nobody's died. But at most, there's 14 of these guys. Worst comes to worst, he wants you to drop down there and airlift them out. But that could also be kind of obvious. You guys would have to, do your whole approach from the air and stuff. So, ideally, he would like, because he's an intelligence officer, he would not like the United Commonwealth to realize you guys crossed over here at all. But, strategically, he really needs their intelligence. So, if you got to break a couple eggs, you had to break a couple eggs. It's kind of on you to figure out, how much you want to plan to stick to the plan, and how much contingency you want to prep for.
Yeah, let's see here. If it's gonna be, we're gonna be losing light. It's gonna be foggy, and
there's there's no electronic light at this target. You're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
And he's already made a request that we don't be broadcasting our heckin' position.
Yeah, he asks that you minimal light. It's stealth basically, so don't fire any guns if you can help it. Don't use search lamps or anything if you can help it. Minimal radio, because like he said, he doesn't even know if these guys still have their wireless set. Mages are very lucky that thanks to the powered by Ethereum cores, you can get reliable radio in a man-portable version.
By the way, he said signal by electric torch. Do you mean flashlight?
Yeah, I said that earlier, but I must have cut out.
Yeah.
So yes, they should have flashlights. They will basically signal to you via Morse code. Basically, if they don't have a radio to raise you.
Let's see here.
Also, yes, if you want to build up complaints to command, it does certainly sound like when he talked to these guys, he said a few days ago that he or his people told them that the plan was to have a mage unit waiting to cover them. But he's only told you today, so that's great. Thanks, bureaucracy.
Yeah. God, man, well, to be fair, past couple days, I've been recovering from getting shot, so...
True. You were busy.
Yeah. But, so, I won't entirely fault him on that, but still. It'd been nice to know, hey, in a couple days, these guys are going to be crossing the border. I could have still set some fucking groundwork. Shit.
Well, you've got a couple days. It's 0800 now. You're not... The rendezvous isn't for, it would be in excess of 48 hours, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's not...
Wait.
No, it wouldn't be. It's it's not tonight, but it's the next night. It's whatever. You have a couple days, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a full day and a half of work.
All right, well, I'll, stand up. All right, I understand what is being asked of me, and I'll see that we deliver another success.
Ah, very, very good. Intelligence and the fatherland appreciate your efforts. He'll, salutes. He'll go for a handshake. He's a little bit of a friendly guy. He'll do the proper salute and then do a handshake and be like,
"I'll take it." Off. For some odd reason, I like this guy. That's all. Yeah. If you must excuse me, I need to go basically prepare my units. And I will take my leave. And I'm going to send my XO to go fetch the good NCO and medic.
All right. Fetch the brain trust.
Mm-hmm. And we're all going to meet in my damn office.
Are you going to summon the rest of your officers too?
Yeah.
All right. So you're for reals rousing the brain trust. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's like, all right. Oh, can I take like the map? Oh, actually, I probably just.
Oh yeah, you got all kinds of maps. Trust me. They like he gave you precision ass coordinates of where this rendezvous is supposed to be, because everybody's basically doing, this is the pre-digital age. Everybody's got to do this by hand, so the coordinates are painstakingly calculated. Because otherwise,
right, so make marks on the map.
Yeah.
Say like this is the point they're coming. They should be coming over. This is the point where their supplies are. Might be down radios. Might be needing a flashlight. XO, make notes. If they're gonna signal us with a flashlight, we're gonna need to be able to signal them back. We're gonna have to hound the quartermaster for a couple flashlights. But it seems. Wait, no, take that back. We'll use my lantern. It's hooded. I can just go with that.
That's what it's for. Yes.
And so again, as from what I can tell, those electronic torches are unreliable as heck. Ulrich, our good old what was the order? Silver Stag? Good old Silver Stag order man. You're probably going to be point man on this. We're going to need your eyes and your ability to navigate this in wilderness to make sure these guys get where they're going.
Going in one piece.
Exactly. And I said, considering they might on a run, and I said they might need medical attention immediately. So of course, we're bringing the what's your medic's name?
Raphael.
We're bringing old man Raph, because that's what I'm calling him now. Along, so if they need on the field medical support, we can issue to it. And that is going to be me and the XO as usual, as always. It's like I don't like leaving these things to other men. As for supplies, well, as I said, they want us to cover it from the air, but they don't want us to use guns. Funny how that works.
Yeah, the impression you would have got from him is like he really doesn't want, like you said, he doesn't want them to know that they're here at all. But if it comes down to you have to shoot a guy in order to not let them get caught, he understands that sacrifices have to be made. But boy howdy, if you could really get around using that bullet, that would be great. I will also note that should things go awry and you have to extract them, you're like airlift them, you're probably going to want to bring more than 4 people.
Yeah. Let's see here. Questions, comments, concerns, any? I hear them now. Ulrich?
None that I can think of.
The XO will pop up with, any chance we can just go and basically set up beforehand, before they arrive? And I'm like, hanging out on the border for any determined amount of time with patrols and whatnot is risky business as is. We could set up a camouflage camp and wait it out, but at the same time, that's almost asking to be caught. Though,
right. Yeah, possibly.
But that does raise an interesting idea.
Possibly set up points of work that they might be the most vulnerable.
Yeah, but this does give an idea. Like, if we can temporarily take their attention away from this area, we might be able to basically give them a window of opportunity and camouflage their actions. I have been saying to the Major, we do need to make some more interesting strikes on their border, just, relieve some pressure and let them know. This might be a good opportunity for it. If we assemble basically a few strike teams between the scouts and the air rifles and have them basically harass the border around the same time, they should start pulling their patrols and men out and give an opportunity for the men to escape. If all goes well, all they'll see is that Stahl forces to try some harassing, and no one will be the wiser. Easiest. XO, what was that?
Yeah, I was going to say that you, with your tactical knowledge, you'd know that both in this conflict and in previous ones, that's a pretty common tactic is to, probe defenses. So You could easily make it appear like you're trying to figure out where their border is weakest right now in other places besides this place.
Yeah. So, EXO,
and actually, if to reinforce that that's an okay route if you want to take that is because as far as you know, these guys are conventional. This was just the strategic officer found as many of his dudes who were sneaky as he could, gave them a couple local guides, and told them to go, okay, go take pictures across the border and stuff. Typical military intelligence. You guys are a mage command. We just had that conversation where you guys aren't normally in each other's chain of command, so they might, if the enemy knows they're pursuing regular scouts, they might not put 2 and 2 together that a mage unit is doing something related to conventional forces.
Yeah. So, EXO, draft up and see how many guys we can free up from the regular patrols that we can have them out on this operation tomorrow. Pull from the air rifles and scout unit. A combination of the two will do it, right? Recovery is working on stuff here, so let's leave them be for right now. Alright. But speaking of recovery, we're probably going to have to take... How many guys did they say?
14? There should be 14, yes. A 12-man infantry and then 2 local guides.
4-man infantry. Hearts and minds. I can't leave anybody behind that we can. So, if we each grab a man ourselves, that means we still need 10 more. So let's pull 10 off recovery and support to wait in the wings. We'll have them wait a ways back. I'll point to, a place, let's see here. Like a quarter of a click back in our own territory. Enough time that if they have to basically blast off here, they can get here in less than a minute. We can pick up and go. Otherwise, it's going to be the 4-man point team here. So we have the oil my good old trusty lantern, Lampy. He's our signaling source. EXO will have the radio equipment in case they do maintain radio equipment. We have a good distraction. We'll stay armed. I guess the final thing is how armored we should go. Walking around a big clunky armor and makes us big clunky targets. I found that out the hard way. Honestly, I'll leave this up to everyone's discretion. You best know how you work in the dark. We've done plenty of nighttime operations. I myself will probably be foregoing my giant armor. It's still being worked on at the moment. Being laid up in bed has not given me the proper time to repair it. See if I can scrounge up an armor vest or something, though, in the meantime. Do I still have an armor vest from one of my older...
I think technically, because you started as an officer, right? I'm pretty sure they get an armor vest as part of their core kit. So yes, technically that's still issued to you.
Yeah. Well, technically I get... Yeah, so I'll just grab one of those and strap on. Should be enough, I hope. And maybe they won't recognize me, and if that gets seen, maybe they won't recognize that I am the giant man in armor who's continuously ruining everyone's day.
Yeah,
because that is definitely a that is definitely something that I do not want to call more attractive to our unit per se. All right. So EXO, please coordinate with the officers and find out who is available and when. Get that to me. In the next couple hours. Ulrich, please study his map, familiarize yourself with the terrain and any difficulties that we may have. Old Man Raph, you just be Old Man Raph. And me, I'm gonna go have a really strong cup of coffee.
See, I feel like somebody should say something like, "Aren't you drinking too much coffee?" But no, this is the early 20th century. No, they're like, "Yes, good. You should consider smoking some cigarettes with that coffee. Really open up the lungs."
Yeah, I know. It really also, So yeah, we're gonna get on that. So yeah, I'm gonna basically go without my fuck all armor for once, and I'll just strip down to an armor vest. I'm still gonna go. I'm still bringing sword and board. You can't stop me.
I still need to figure out what I'll bring. I have that body armor that I probably should strip down.
I said I'm also gonna run by the major that I plan to run probing attacks on the border to try and alleviate pressure on the extraction point.
All right. Yeah, she basically kind of like nods, like, well, yeah, they're your men, so that's not contrary to any orders she's given you, so it's fine. If anybody asks, you'll just say that she authorized you to authorize them to do that as part of your ongoing intelligence operation.
Very well then. All right. So
just make sure they don't try to invade any towns or anything.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Don't overextend. You wanna fly across the border, hoot and holler. That's okay. Just like don't accidentally try and do anything. No heroics. Basically, she asks. Make sure they don't do anything dumb.
Ah, yes.
Maintain discipline.
Maintain discipline.
I don't want to wake up tomorrow and see in the newspapers that somebody wrote a giant "The King Sucks" graffiti in Stahl. On like a barn somewhere.
King Drool Stahl rules.
Emperor rules.
Everybody's monocle pops. I say.
My God! Those treasonous bastards!
And that's why they invented the tank, just to come run you over.
It's like, I'm so distraught I can't drink my tea.
Gentlemen, do you think we could get a battleship to run on land, so perhaps we could just drive it right up to them?
You mean Valkyria Chronicles?
My God, that gives me an idea. Well, I mean, technically, tanks were called land ships. Like, that's really the doctrine they thought they were inventing. They thought they were figuring out how to put, basically, armored naval vessels on land. And it didn't really work out that way.
Good job.
But yes, theoretically, like, you could build a super heavy tank. But no, we're not going to go that far. But yes, they'd be very, very cross. But all right. With the assurances that, of course, your men will maintain discipline, you're not... basically, she wants your assurance that you're not giving them a free pass or anything.
Yeah, no.
Which basically means that... Not that they would, because they're your guys, so there's no reason for them to, freak out. But if they did... run gallivanting off, then that would be all their fault. It's the shit rolling downhill, basically.
Mm-hmm.
If she didn't say something, then it's her fault.
Yep. Alright, Alright, Ulrich. Let's go over this real quick. And tell me if you see any holes in this plan. So we're going to set out normal time. We're going to be dressed down a little bit. Still going to bring guns and weapons and all that stuff. We're going to meet them at the designated location. Well, actually, here's a good question. Or do you think we should stay on the ground and wait for them to spot them before we take air, or should we maintain stay in the air the entire time?
Well, if we're in the air, it might be depending on what they're looking for.
I mean, I'll say this: you guys are visibility-wise, you guys are covered pretty well either way. If you're on the ground, you should have terrain cover. If you're in the air, there's going to be low light and fog. So
yeah.
You're pretty stealthy either way.
Yeah.
I say we're gonna come equipped with our ability units, but I say we stick to the ground.
Okay. Unless we need it.
Yeah. As I said, even if we have low light, who knows? Just a stray pair of eyes upwards might get someone spotted. I'd rather have a little bit of a grass cover, I suppose. So we'll maintain to the ground. When the guys get into radio contact, they'll see the signal. We'll try to contact them. At that point, we'll see if they have any pursuers. If no pursuers, we'll basically take to the air and just cover them. If they have pursuers, we might have to move into an engagement. Ideally, I think this would mean we would have to... Ideally, if we want to save bullets, that means we rush into a melee.
Right.
Which, if we take by the air and, drop on them, good old element of surprise.
Yes.
Might work. But this is also depending on seeing on how many guys they have chasing them. With a group of 14, you would need a pretty sizable group to...
Well, yeah, you have to think about speed, because obviously smaller units are faster, so...
Yeah.
They probably... I mean, obviously you probably want maybe, double or more the number of guys to catch up to them that you can actually stop them, but at the same time, you can't go running through the backwoods of South Africa and stuff in, with a couple of divisions. So that at least is size will be on your side.
Yeah.
Heck, if you're lucky,
I'm moving to cover them.
Some cavalry guys and be on horseback, which means they're faster, but also they want less of them. And I'm sure you guys won't have any problem asserting your dominance over horses. What's a great target that is?
All right, let's go. EXO, put on that. Let's just get 2 smoke grenades issued for everybody. I said, if nothing else, we can pop smoke. White smoke. White smoke grenades for everybody. If nothing else, we can at least cover their escape with even more clouds of what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
After that, we just gotta get them to the truck. If that doesn't look likely, we'll just call on the report team. We'll each grab one person, and we'll zip zop zoop right on out of there. It's a bit of contingency. Hopefully it's enough. Do you think it's enough? I really hope it's enough. I really don't want to get shot. I don't want anyone to get shot. God, getting shot sucks. Ulrich, when was the last time you were shot?
A long time back.
I'm jealous.
I think, watching twice. I think once because I protected you.
Yeah, look at that shiny medal you got on your breast for it.
Yes.
Good job.
And that sucked, I think. You've been damaged more than I have. But you're the captain. You like protecting your men.
Yeah, well, apparently me protecting my men means they want me to go protect more men. Apparently.
Well,
right.
You guys are the air unit with the sneak eyeballmans.
Alright, but I think this is all we can take care of. Everyone get a couple smoke grenades from the quartermaster. I'll sign off on it.
I still have 2 smoke grenades.
Oh, you solid? Perfect. That's
Yes.
2 less that I have to bully out of a man. Well, actually, no. We have to be spending 1 smoke grenade. These times are lean. I mean, if you have 2 smoke grenades, Ulrich, you can bring both of them. I can't.
I have just the bought ones, so yeah.
Okay.
They're my own money.
Pretty sure the quartermaster used that money to go buy himself a drink.
Probably several. And then the Magnum stuff was probably bought a whole
yes, there have been several inquiries on what in the prophet's name you are doing to those guns, Ulrich. Just to reaffirm, you do have a plan for those guns, right?
Yes. Therefore, I realized that we need more firepower. And my sidearms of heavy pistols won't do it entirely.
Welcome to the matter of escalation. They get bigger guns and more armor, so we need bigger guns and more armor.
Doing some guerrilla math, by the way. Who's the slowest in the team?
Me? Probably.
No, I mean like overland flight. You're actually probably one of the fastest because you have expert.
Oh, let me see here. Let me pull up. Derp.
Oh yeah, overland speed. If we have I think the Corpsman probably went up 1.
Well,
yeah,
I really don't count
what's your flight speed? I don't count. I don't usually count companions. This is just
because they just go at ours.
Yeah, we just move as 1. But mine is 400 kilometers per hour.
All right.
Mine is 250.
All right, so Ulrich's the slower because you're not going to ditch him.
Nope.
So, assuming you don't get lost and there is no, like, inclement weather or anything, you're looking at a couple hours of flight time from you to the target area.
Well, this is why I fucking... Where'd it go? This is why I took, double time. So we can literally double that distance.
All right, you're going to try and yell at everybody to fly faster.
Yeah, but... that'll probably only happen if we get lost. If we show up... I don't want to show up too early. Well, actually, we probably do want to show up a little early, just in case these guys show up, because...
Yeah, we probably should then also make sure we
know
the pathway that they're going, so we can properly take care of any enemy that targets them.
And honestly, that's a good point, Ulrich. There might be guys already there at the extraction point.
I mean,
if we get there
the enemy is trying to track them and say, oh, they're probably going to take, and if they know the maps, know their area well.
That is a very good point, Ulrich.
Then they might be all like, okay, so they're probably going to go along here if they want to get along there, but if they want to go over the long route, then they might go through there.
Well, I mean, you guys have like I said, a couple of days worth of this. Even if you get up at normal daylight, daybreak, the day of the mission, that means you've got the whole of daylight until dusk before the crossing is supposed to happen. So you guys just tell me how many hours ahead of time you want to arrive.
Yeah. I'd say I'd say like an hour early. Get there. Enough time to basically do some basic scouting, see if there's any ambushes in there, and make sure hunker in.
All right. Okay, are you guys ready to go to sleep and then wake up and shoot some people? Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And then after that,
day to night transition. eats up, fortifies. Okay, so I'm gonna need a couple of rolls really quick. First off, Ulrich, roll navigation to find the target.
Okay. I'm going to be wearing those. So I can have that plus 20.
Officer man, give me a command to organize your probing teams. Your XO manages to basically break up a couple squads worth of guys. Basically 50% uptime from both platoons.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So I rolled a 25, so I'm going to succeed, but let's see how well I succeed. Let's see here. Command is plus 10. I got plus 40 from officer, and because I got a shiny star. Honestly, Omega, I'm starting to wonder if this plus 20 is maybe a bit too much from this really cool medal.
That's fair. We can adjust that later. I think it's okay because as I said, what you did could have gone horribly wrong and was actually very, very impressive by standards, even though we handed it out fairly early in the campaign.
Yeah, I guess. But it's just like, oh, command. All right, yeah, I'm just rolling like my own guys plus motherfucking 40. I'm like, wow. But if you think it's okay, then sure. Let's see here. So, what is my leadership score?
Okay, got a little
41.
bit sidetracked since Dad wants me to keep a timer so because I need to take something out from the oven, apparently.
Okay. So we can take breaks when need be. Like, I need to get more ice for my lemonade to stay cool, so...
Oh,
do we need to be right back?
When you take a fiver? I can pause the recording. We can take a fiver.
Do you need a fiver, Marth?
Not really.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I already set my own sort of timer on the computer.
Oh, okay. Okay, we can keep going then. So, for my command, I got 6 degrees of success.
All right, that's pretty good. You command them appropriately. And all right, 4 degrees of success. So, you calculate the straight line path, and then you follow it, and you have a compass, so you're like, no, we don't deviate. So this will take you the prescribed couple of hours, so that'll be 2 charges for Ulrich and 1 charge for Wolfgang, because he's got an efficient model. And you arrive a couple of hours ahead of time. Well, an hour or so.
All right. Check my field glass.
Probably a little over an hour, because, those are a lot of degrees of success. You managed to, make sure you shave some time off by doing that nice straight line flight.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So shave time off, so it's good.
All right. Yep. Gonna take these field glasses, which I have put in a belt patch so I can grab them real easy, I guess. Scout the terrain, see if there's any people. Anyone away?
All right, well, go ahead and roll awareness.
Roll that away.
Oh... Should I do the same?
Do you have anything? Do you have Farsight or something?
I have Farsight. I have field glasses.
If you want to,
if you both got glasses, you can both without penalty. You can look at it from the same range.
Yeah. And I have that plus 10 for awareness. I have plus 20 from sensory boost on the thing.
Let's see here. I rolled 58, so I don't think so. No. Hang on. Wait, actually, did I get a bonus to my awareness? Oh, I do have a plus 10. And does my... Oh, no, that's just my paranoid is just for being surprised. But
no, right now you are doing the surprising.
Mm-hmm. I am the last surprise.
So we're going to be having to do surprising for athletics.
Okay, so... Did you end up with any degrees there, Lucky? Or just
no degrees. I haven't done the math, but I think I got 1 degree of failure.
Okay. You see land, lots of land. And technically, we'll say that you're a little ahead of time, so the fog is probably a thing that'll roll in as it starts to cool, right? That'll make the air start to condense. So the sun's still up. So your fog bank hasn't really set in yet, but it's starting to get a little overcast and, cool down. It's getting dark. So the fog is starting to roll in, so no penalties yet. Mm-hmm. What the captain sees is basically you look at your field glasses and you're like, yep, that's a nondescript border. That's definitely where the maps say
I'm in Africa.
Our land ends. It sure looks like it. Hey, at least it's not a fucking desert, It's savanna, it's scrubland, it's, chest high grasses. It's not as bad as that last place you were, so the grass is chest height with lots of little scrub trees here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks a little dry. Could use a little water.
I see no chimeras bounded across the fields. Okay, I was a little worried about that.
No. You see maybe some gazelles, maybe some water buffalo cruising. There is a watering hole in this area, so you can see it. There's like, a light trickle of a stream into it, like a natural watering formation. You eyeball it, you're like, there's probably not any crocs in there. Actually, I think, if I remember rightly, we talked about this before, and Namibia is actually outside of the environment for crocodiles, luckily enough. Still, you have the thought to yourself.
For us.
It's definitely there are no hippos here, I think, if I remember right. So that's good, because that would suck. Dire hippo. But no, so with 2 degrees, Ulrich is out there scoping out. You actually observe things that are tactically meaningful. First off, as far as you can tell, there's nobody out here. There's within your range of perception, there are no humans who are not at least sitting dead still in like a blind or something. If they're here, they're super concealed, which means they must have been here for a long time, so there's probably not anybody here. Nobody's moving around. There's no patrols or anything. Like I said, I'm pretty sure at this point the border is... Here's where we decided on the maps that our terrain stops. Maybe there's a fence in this grass somewhere, but it's not like how we like to think of modern borders now. There's no like walls or like not super high fences or anything. It's just like, no, here's where the map says your terrain ends.
Okay.
There are some animals that are around. Like I said, it's starting to get a little foggy, so you can see where the fog rolls in. You spot on your side of the border, hidden under a couple of nice tall trees, there is the prefab shed. So you've spotted where you need to get these guys. It's right under you. And if you guys wanted to land somewhere and hang out, that's probably as good a place as any, because it's got air concealment. It's specifically covered from the air, so like if a plane or a mage flew over, you'd never see it, other than you know to look for it.
Okay.
And you do also spot the aforementioned. They talked about how like there are some snares and stuff. You do actually think you spot some areas, like you see some spots where like the grass on the enemy side of the border, the grass is like displaced in some areas. You spot like the rotting or partially picked apart carcass of like a gazelle or something, or an antelope that like stepped in a bear trap or something, an animal trap. So you can kind of spot some reasons where like, okay, they've not, like I said, full-blown mines, but there are some scattered defenses. There are some ropes or some man traps scattered around to like deter people from crossing the border. And that's what you see. So, you have seen things. Okay. What's your next move?
Alright, well, let's basically spread out a bit, get low to the ground, get a bit of, what was it, like take a knee? What was the... I feel like there... Oh wait, no, that was the movement, where you can basically do the press the crouch and walk.
You mean tactile movement?
Yeah, that's what it was called. Thank you. But we don't need to really do that right now. But there's no one out here.
Not unless you're worried about like spooking a herd of wildebeest or something.
Nah. But let's stay in the grass. Everyone, I'm gonna throw out on alert.
All right.
Do I actually have to roll for that? I keep forgetting.
No, I don't think. I think it's just a half action. You're like, all right, everybody, eyes up.
Eyes up.
Look up though.
Make sure checking the XO. Make sure that the radio is confined. It's set to receive all frequencies. Because I don't know if they fucking told me what like fucking frequency they're going to be.
Oh yeah, they gave you all the information. Like
good.
If they have a radio, they'll contact you on this.
Okay, good.
Yeah, on alert is just a half action.
So spread out. Drink water if you got it.
Yeah, you all have your canteens.
So
I suppose the point here is like, so you said that you were going to have the support unit kind of base up. Are they this far up, still on your side of the border with you, or did you leave them back a little bit out of sight distance?
Left them back a little bit out of sight.
Okay. So they're probably like hunkered down under some trees and stuff on your side of the border, waiting.
Yeah. So basically the plan, things get shit. We yell on the radio that we need an extraction. I'll pop some motherfucking green smoke. They'll fly in, and we'll try to zip, zoop everyone out of here.
Mm-hmm. It's just like your Chimera Village plan, only hopefully with less chimeras.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully 0.
Though I don't know. I suppose I should double check. Did you tell anybody in the backup team to bring any bomb racks this time?
No.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Bomb racks, I feel it would be a massive waste of resources right about now. It's like, yeah, please don't use bullets. I'm pretty sure my bullets, if they don't want me to use bullets, they definitely don't want me to use bombs.
Fair enough. All right.
Okay, I just got my old standard repeating rifle. Hope I don't have to shoot anybody with it. Because, as we've learned, I'm not good at shooting people.
So are you guys just gonna, like, camp out?
Oh, wait, no!
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I take that back. I'm a stormtrooper now. I have an automatic rifle.
It's 5 till...
Nice.
I'm trying to figure out what... I think all I'm bringing is, like, the heavy pistol, along with some blades.
That's right. I no longer carry... Well, I have a repeating pistol, but that's part of my loadout. Now I have an automatic rifle, which is this big old fucking gun.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, me. Good job.
Good old early machine guns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, no, totally some guy can carry this gun.
Man, I should have just brought my fucking armor, man. I'm already carrying a big-ass gun. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll fix it when I get home.
It's fine. The gun is your security blanket. Also, hey, if you have to fire, you can suppress at least.
Hey, if I'm firing, I'm enchanting this damn thing with explosive rounds, and someone's day is gonna be really fucked.
All right, but yeah, so I was saying, so you guys are basically, now that you're here, you've scoped it out, you're basically just going to camp out in the grass at the ground level somewhere. All right. Well, because you're not using your mobility units, you don't have to waste any charges. You just sit on the ground and let, clock tick by. As you're sitting there, once again, the captain thinks he should have brought his watercolors, as you get to just kind of like watch this slightly unseasonable, normally it's pretty dry, but, it starts to get cool a little bit, the sun starts to go down. And just, like I said, just out of the north, from where it's more wet, just fog banks kind of just gently roll in.
Oh, man. I could enchant, I guess, night vision on my flight goggles, but... Yeah, I got 5 minutes of fucking spare. I hope.
Well, I should warn you, the fog will not count as low light.
That's right.
It will be concealment, because there's physically stuff in your way.
That's right.
Unless you want to... yeah.
You could change the weather, but you didn't prep for that.
Make it heavier fog.
No, I wanna keep the fog in because that's also gonna help them with their fucking escape.
Not really thick fog because that could hinder them.
Yeah, I know. Light fog could be good. We don't need them. We don't need a repeat of what happened on the river. Jesus Christ.
Yep. Oh no, the charges did go off.
Shit, I can't see anything.
What is happening right now? No one knows. This is war.
Only instead of Lucky screaming that, it's everybody pantomiming that because you also couldn't speak.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Welcome to the world's first.
Welcome
to the world's first instance of underwater interpretive dance.
I think weapons I'm bringing are like the longsword, machete, and heavy pistol.
Hey, can't go wrong with longsword. Can't run out of bullets with a sword. The sword is silent.
Besides, I can two-hand it.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, like I was talking with.
It has that quality to it.
Flexible.
Flexible.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's really good with that.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna make me a metal totem that lets me like wield like two-handed metal weapons in one hand or something. I'm gonna figure this out.
Okay. And
There's another one.
I won't ever bring my revolver in stealth missions because heck aloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've attached a loudener to your guns, so they're more loud.
I think there could be her like probably a kilometer away.
I mean, I have a
here's the
recon
thing.
pistol.
Most of your weapons are supersonic at this point. So yes, there's a very sharp rifle crack that will carry. People cannot necessarily identify it as a gunshot from very long way off. That's another movie thing, which is like you can usually hear gunshots pretty far off, but you don't always identify them. But soldiers can probably be like, "Hey, is that a rifle bullet?" And unfortunately, you are not in a terrain type that absorbs sound very well. You are in a relatively flat plain that is covered.
Right. I don't think I have too many spells that are
that's right. No, I got a fucking...
quiet.
I have a suppressed pistol that came with my kit as
Commando.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that.
That's a solid
smart
choice.
thing to do.
I'm mostly going to stay to melee, even though I suck at melee.
And melee is real simple, man. You get there and you basically swing harder and faster than the other guy swinging.
All I just have to do is hold the thing in my hands and then just sneak up behind. I'm not honorable. I can do that.
Yeah, that's fair. You and your freedom. Well, I like being honorable. Makes people
freedom
like
first,
me.
honorable later.
Hey, that's what happens in war, man. Why do you think they say like all is fair in love and war?
Yes.
All right, so you guys are having a philosophical debate in a woods
while we wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you've got all your watches synchronized. It clicks over to the time, and so.
All right. At this point, I throw up the hand sign for everyone's silent and alert up again, and we keep an eye out.
All right. So we're gonna call for 2 types of tests here. Number 1, have your EXO give me a crypto test for radio stuff, and everybody else give me an awareness test for eyes and ears stuff.
Okay.
There is it minus 10 for concealment or minus 20? Let me look at my notes. Consult my charts.
And
no, dice! I rolled a fucking odd on my 10th.
Lucky has the thing on alert, and
that's only for against the surprise, I think.
No, I think it's all tests. Yeah, go ahead and look it up.
Let me double check that real quick. Let's see here. Oh, no, not double time. On alerts.
Yep, so concealment is minus 20.
Well, let me see here. So as a half action, declare all allies on alert. Until the end of your next turn, all allies within your leadership modifier and meters gain a plus 10 on awareness checks to spot enemies and avoid surprise.
Yeah, you're looking to see if there's enemy activity, so I'll count it. So there's a minus 10 only overall for the fact that there's a lot of fog.
Yeah. So my XO did actually real good on her cryptography. Oh, yeah, she rolled a fucking 8.
That's pretty good.
Let's see. Cryptography's intelligence, if I remember right. Yeah?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, okay. So that means she gets 2 degrees of success.
All right, that's really good. Roll your awareness first before I tell you what happens. Yeah, everybody roll the C while she's fiddling with the radio.
Okay. So
I probably should have said that in the other order.
For all awareness, or?
Yeah, he says it's counting for this instance.
Yeah. Okay, so that's plus 10.
Mm-hmm. And minus 20 for concealment.
20.
But you I think still have some positive pluses, Mr. Sensory.
Thank God for sensory boost.
Yeah.
So I still have 66 I have to roll under.
So let me see here. I got a plus 10 on awareness. I got the plus 10 for that. Minus 20, so I'm rolling that dice. 28. What? Is that 1 degree? Wait, no. That's 0 degrees. 0 degrees of success for me.
All right, so we'll start with your awareness. So you guys are looking. You're still on the ground, right? You wanted to make contact before you took off again?
Yeah.
So you're called for silence, ears out. You're trying to listen to everything. You're keeping your eyes up as far as because you, like I said, you can stand up at your full height and see over the top of this grass.
Yeah.
So Wolfgang, I mean, you're not as good at this as Ulrich is, but you're reasonably confident that as time goes on, there is nobody in your sight range who has here. Huh. You don't hear any new people moving around. You're pretty sure nobody has entered your immediate area of operation. Ulrich, you're very certain that there are still just animals here, which is good because your EXO with passing her crypto to do radio stuff, picks up a signal and she is listening on her handset and she turns to you, Captain, and is like, Optiman, we may have a problem. I'm picking up their radio transmission, but it's very faint. It sounds like they're not close by. I can triangulate their position, though, based on where it's coming from, and, go closer to them, but it sounds like they're not calling us from close by. A second.
Oh.
So basically, on her angle, it's kind of like... So, you guys have your equivalent of a, well, never mind. She's got a radio backpack, so her range is I think a click. So, they must be on the fringes somewhere of their radio transmission. Now, obviously, there is a fog. So there, like, inclement weather and stuff does fuck with radio range, but still, like, she's saying that, like, this isn't like they're close by, they're just over the border and broadcasting through a fog. Like, they're not right here. So something has done been foobarred. So, what's your move, Captain?
It's like, well, we're probably gonna have to take to the goddamn air. So I'm gonna issue the order for takeoff, and we're gonna have to start moving towards their damn position.
All right. So you take off.
But XO, I'm gonna see tell my XO to see if she can open a line of communication to them, see if she can click that signal at all, and we can find out where the hell they are.
All right. So you will start moving towards them and start broadcasting. Like how, because stealth is one of your objectives. How frequent is she with check-ins? Like, are you telling her just to keep an open mic, or is this like, okay, like every 100 meters we move, try and call them kind of thing?
Yeah, let's go with the latter.
All right. So, I assume you guys are flying pretty low and slow, right? To just like give her a chance to operate. Okay, so I won't make anybody roll piloting checks yet. It's a pretty straight flight. I will warn you that you're maybe not for Ulrich, but your visibility off the deck starts to fall pretty fast once you get up there. You're like, you especially, God forbid, you guys flew at ceiling height, but like you start getting a couple meters up, and it's like, okay, I think I can see where the ground is. The altimeter says I'm this far above sea level, so I'm pretty sure that dark blob is the ground. And maybe those lighter blobs are animals on the ground? Are the even darker blobs trees or animals? Ulrich, what do you see? Kind of stuff. But yeah, mostly it's, like I said, it's like blobs that are darker or lighter than other blobs at this range.
I think they're trees.
So as you first, like I said, first like 100 meters or so, you get in. It's kind of like get a little stronger. She gets in, like, this is probably like you've got a code word for this, but I couldn't think of one cool in like the 5 seconds I took to take a breath there. So, alas, your immersion is broken. But basically, it's like this is the radio contact. We're hearing you on this channel. What's your position? Over. And she gets back a little clearer this time. It's like there's a question in there. I assume you guys keep pushing towards their position.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead, and for you guys, because I assume you guys are looking while you're flying, go ahead and make me another awareness round.
Okay. Right, so
I'm gonna spend some fucking luck.
Right, so the minuses are probably fog and low light.
No, they're just fog. Technically, the sun hasn't gone down yet. Like,
okay,
especially at the low angle you're at, there's like a little bit of light filtering in behind you.
Okay, so -10 from the fog.
No, fog is -20, but you have bonuses to cancel that. Yeah.
Yeah, so -20. That's.
I get a
okay.
That's a fucking bonus. Yay! And I roll good on my fucking awareness. Yay!
Oh hey. I failed.
Oh, I'm glad I succeeded then. Jeez. Let me do some math here real quick.
Alright.
I mean, I better succeed. I spent a point of luck here. Why did I close my calculator? I never should have done that. Never close the calculator when I'm playing.
No, you always need the calculator.
So, let me see here. For assumption, plus 20, minus 20, 42, 17. 2 degrees of success.
Alright. So, alright, Wolfgang, you're looking. God, it's fucking dark. Ulrich, you're like, I'm in a fog bank. Wolfgang, though, you're like...
out like...
Oh, am I? Am I roboting a little?
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay. You're cutting out there a bit.
Hopefully it was just a little bit of a dip. I was just saying that Ulrich realizes that he is in a fog bank. But Wolfgang, for once, you realize, my God, not only am I in Africa, I'm in Namibia right now. I'm in Stahl Alkebulan, and there's a lot of grass under me. But I think I see somebody trying to signal me with a fucking flashlight in that darkness. So yes, you can spot There's a blob of some darker shaped blobs coming out of the blob that is the ground, and there's a little tiny light flickering, just like the Morse equivalent of like "we are here," kind of up into the sky.
All right. Well, I'll direct the EXO to respond again, and I'll take out my hooded lantern and be all like, "It's time to flash some signals back, motherfucker."
All right. So while you basically be the confirmed sign flashback, she manages to dial it in and then boost the signal a little bit and be like, "Okay, all right, we got you." Then they're like, "Yes, this is this is Scout 1. We're on the rendezvous point. By the way, you have very good maps. Ulrich rolled very well. They are not on the rendezvous point, but they sure think they are."
Oh. Fun fact, I didn't think that they could fuck up their navigation.
Now I can reveal to you that secretly I rolled a random event, and the random event was wrong location. So,
yep, makes sense.
The secret complication to this mission was, fuck, you're in the wrong place. You guys rolled really well, so I put it that you guys found the right place. You'll have to figure out where they fucked up later, but
yeah, somehow I guessed that was going to happen.
Well, as I said, I guess we should give directions how to get back to where the fuck they're going, eh?
All right. But basically, you're telling on the you're gonna tell your EXO on the radio. You'd be like, "No, you're not actually in position, but that's okay. We'll walk you through it."
Yeah.
Be like, "Okay, well, it's a radio, so there's a pregnant pause, and be like, okay, whatever cool sky, whatever cool sky command name they have for you is like, okay, walk us towards the target." So,
all right, I guess I'll keep my my lantern open.
Yeah, basically the question is, because so every time you run the radio, that runs the risk that somebody's gonna cycle through the channels or something, or something. So do you want to give them directions by the radio, or are you gonna fly over them and basically flash the lantern?
We're gonna flash the lantern.
Okay.
And so we're basically.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Lucky, with whatever your thought was, since you were.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so basically, we're going to give them one last message, and afterwards, we're going to maintain radio silence. Is basically the lantern's going to be the guiding lights.
All right, so you're basically going to be like, okay, we're going to switch. We're going to switch to Morse signals now, to signal lantern now. Look up. All right, so, since you've got the lantern, you roll me a navigation test to basically walk them through.
Oh, god damn it, no! I don't have navigation! Ulrich, help me!
Ulrich can't assist you.
Yeah, and that's my man. Assist me.
I mean, unless you want to hand the lantern over to him.
No, it's my lamp. I won this lamp fair and square. I mean, I stole it, but still. Alright, let's see here. So I'm gonna I'm gonna spend more luck. Because I don't want us getting lost, because that make me look real bad, I feel.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna take your assistance, motherfucker.
Okay.
Alright, cool. That's a plus 30.
And I think, does my companion have that?
I know my XO doesn't. She was all like, it's like, why would I need to know where to go? I'm just gonna follow you. It's like,
companion knows my companion doesn't have that.
Yeah, she's been like, no, sir. When I went back to technical school, I learned how to work the radio.
And honestly,
if I want to find shit, I'm just gonna get on the radio. I'll listen for Stahl National Broadcasting, Alkebulan.
Does the fog give a penalty to navigation, by the way?
No, I don't think you're concealment penalty. You're basically like, this is how well do you remember the layout when you looked at it in light, and can you basically accurately, round all your fucking numbers and be like, okay, move 10 meters forward and then 5 meters, bear 5 meters right, stuff like that. So, all
right. So since I don't have navigation trained, that means it's half my
half your perception is your target number,
and then round up.
Yes, everything rounds up.
All right. So I'm sorry. Wait, hang on. I went too far. Damn it. Wait, where are my skills? There they are. Okay, it is perception. Herp. Okay, so that's 16 plus 30, 40. 1 degree of success.
Okay. And I should, since I didn't want to interrupt you doing your math, but I should say that in the brief touch on report, they were like, there's no active pursuit behind us. So.
Oh, thank God.
There's nobody on their heels. However, you don't want to linger here.
Nope.
But all right, so.
Well, unfortunately, I get 1 degree of success, so We're making regular time.
Let's see. You probably flew a little slow, but you were still flying pretty fast. You can go pretty fast, so it's not like a huge deal. They're on foot. It's dark, and they're going slow. So, Wolfgang, why don't you scratch off your first charge, and Ulrich, you scratch off another charge.
Okay.
As basically, you guys are up here for another hour,
Mhm.
like slowly walking and be like, okay, no, don't. Make sure you don't go to your left. You're gonna step in a puddle of water, or you're gonna spook a herd of sleeping wildebeest or something. Move here.
You not want to have to explain to the intelligence officers that his men almost made it, only to get killed by a world of pissed off, sleepy wildebeest.
Right. Don't walk through that section on your right. That's full of bear traps, and stuff. And you basically slowly walk these guys through. And then the after you're well on your side of the border and you get them down in the right direction, you finally they break up into radios and are like, all right, control, we see the vehicle target.
Copy that. Copy that. Load up and we'll cover you from there.
All right, and they do so. They pile in. They get her gassed up. You can. They're making a little bit of noise. Why don't you guys go ahead and just for the sake of it, roll me some more awareness.
Oh, fun! And this is for hearing. Or...
yeah, hearing, sight, whatever works.
Okay.
It's awarifying.
Awarifying. Okay.
I got 3 degrees of failure. Awareness is not my strong suit. I really should do something about this.
Okay, so I'm going to just go with hearing.
Hey, Wolfgang.
What's up?
Guess where you are right now? That's right.
Africa.
You're in Africa right now.
I'm good.
You're too busy focused on how the fuck did I walk those guys back over here. I'm really glad I took basic geometry in Magic College. Whew, I'm gonna have to write that professor a letter. All right, 4 degrees of success. Okay. Well, luckily you can be reasonably certain with that high degrees of success that you continue that there's nothing going on here.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
You're looking around, you're like, no, that's just animals. That's them getting in the truck. Okay, there's not anything going on here. And they get in the truck and they drive off. How fast does an army truck go, actually? I should check. Because I'm wondering, how long will this take them to get back? Because if it takes them a long time, you guys might have to worry about your core supplies. Assuming you're basically gonna form a flight over them and just follow them back.
Yeah. How flashy is the mana battery?
Not really that flashy.
Okay, so I can possibly help with recharging stuff on the way.
What am I looking for? I'm looking for vehicles. Where's my vehicle list? So this will be cargo truck basically because it's not armored. So they're off-road right now, so they're half speed, but normally they go to about. So they got about a whopping 45 kph speed right about now.
Oh Jesus! I feel like I can tow this thing back.
Oh, for sure. Actually, I will say no need to roll awareness, but if you put your eyes on the truck, as they're firing up and stuff before they turn off the headlights, you can count. They've probably given you a head count. They're all here.
Oh, thank God.
They've got a couple of minor injuries, but nothing life threatening. One guy sprained his ankle and they had to carry him half the way. That's why they were so slow. And another guy, they got one guy who got shot in the shoulder long ago. So he's in pain, but he's mobile.
All right.
And actually, you might want to tell them to before they break radio contact to be like, "Hey, don't go straight home. Meet up with our recovery unit guys first."
Oh yeah. I'll tell them if they head to these corners, there's a relief set where they can get patched up and maybe a bit of food if they hunger.
Yeah, they actually say they have supplies in the truck.
All right. Cool.
So let's see. That was about.
Do we have anyone scouting ahead of the path?
Nah, we're in our territory now, and I
Okay.
think should be all right. As long as we keep a couple guys, basically shadow them home. But
Yeah.
All right. So doing my guerrilla math. So the nearest military outpost that they're going to head for is at this speed about 4 hours for them. So, You obviously don't have to be up in the air burning fuel if you, like, tell them to take a detour and get, like, patched up. That's pretty simple. You can verify everybody's okay, everything's alright. They do, in fact, have the intelligence. These guys, they look a little worse for the wear. Like, their boots are worn out, some of their uniforms are torn, they're muddy, they're dirty, If these guys were carrying service rifles beforehand, they have ditched them somewhere. They're, like, down to a couple of pistols and shotguns kind of stuff. Knives. Everybody's got a bayonet. A couple of them have, like, basically messenger bags, which are filled with documents and sketches they've taken. They've got a couple logbooks and code books. One guy is carrying, basically, like I said, the saddlebag radio is, like, draped over his body.
Damn.
And he looks a little tired. He's glad to be riding a vehicle kind of stuff. They have, like, one guy's carrying a camera kit so they could take photos. If they had a portable developing lab, they've ditched those, so it looks like some of their photos are going to have to be developed on back home. Yeah, they got the film, but it's not like you carry a lot of those chemicals with you.
Nope.
But they're there, and so basically, because you're flying at a pretty low and slow speed, go ahead and give me basically piloting checks to make sure you don't have any accidents in your way home in the dark.
Okay, piloting.
It is still. Let's just call it a -10 for low light. You kind of like,
Righto.
as you head back inland, it gets drier and the fog kind of recedes, but it is now after dark.
Okay, so.
Wow, I got a 45 out of 45.
47 minus 10 here. 30. Okay, so I got 0 degrees of success.
Same.
All right, no fancy flying, no collisions though. Nobody gets sleepy and like flies into a fog bank or anything. Nobody goes too low and hits a tree or a telegraph line. But, God, it's real dull. Like you guys are probably like playing like I Spy or something, or have to resort to singing to yourselves to keep your eyes open because goddamn, this truck is so slow compared to you.
Oh my god. Many days that it's days like this where I realize that having the freedom of the air and sky is a fucking blessing and a privilege. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't say this through the radios, by the way. This is just me like yelling because goddamn, I need something to break up this monotony.
But yeah, so your mission basically ends as they roll up to a military checkpoint at an outpost. They papers everything. They're like, all right, roll them right in. You get the radio on the ground of the outpost basically signals up to you and be like, okay, we've got the package. You guys can go home. Thanks for your hard work, everybody. Do you guys need to come? Do you guys need to come down for an evening meal?
What is it?
Let's see. It was dusk. It's still summer, so that's late. So 4 or 5 hours of flight. It's got to be close to midnight. Like you guys probably had to munch some trail rations on the flight.
No, thank you for the kind offer, but we have bunks and homes reports to write if you know what we're talking about. We appreciate the offer, though.
Yeah, all right. Godspeed, then.
All right. Let's start heading home, and I'll radio the recovery unit that all's clear. Head back.
All right. Everybody goes home. So, when you get back, there's reports waiting for you. Your scout teams. You rolled better than the enemy, but the enemy did actually... I rolled a couple of dice to see how well they would succeed. You'll be glad to know that, as per the usual, the attempts to track those guys utterly bollocksed it up. They rolled like a 64. So, nope, there was no pursuit. They were bad at it. You rolled better, but they did actually succeed to fight your guys. So, you come back. They've got minor injuries. They've got some exhaustion, some muscle strain. But basically, they're like... Yeah, so we went out there, we did some stuff, we hooped and we hollered, we took a couple pot shots at some listening posts and stuff, and they weren't really pleased about that, so they shot some machine guns at us, they wasted some machine gun bullets, and then they sent up the Mage Corps, so we had to ditch them, back over the desert.
Oh man, they got Mage Corps on the fucking... God damn it.
Well, they're probably doing what you guys are doing and running Mage air patrols at a fairly regular schedule. Especially because they have a lot more airspace to cover than you. So,
yeah.
But basically, yeah, so somebody got on the horn right away and was like, holy shit, there's mages shooting at us in the sky. Somebody please do something about this. And as we've discussed, you guys can move pretty fast when you like. So, they must have had a patrol who was ready to detach. But hey, that means you didn't have to deal with any air patrols. But yeah, so
that was
your guys probably used a few
it.
more bullets and a little more fuel in their Ethereum cores than you would have wanted them to do. But nobody's seriously injured. They scored a couple of ground kills at least because you didn't tell them to like, defense in depth or anything. It was just like, all right, get over there, raise some noise, come back home, and drag some attention. If nobody pays attention, if nobody shoots back, bother them until they do, but otherwise just go home. Yeah. So there wasn't like a protracted engagement, but yes, they did actually manage to rustle up some defenders, and they had to actually spend some time ditching them. Which would have meant that had those guys actually rolled the track, okay, if you would have been like, okay, scout team, can you come help us? They would have been like, we're busy. Luckily, things worked out okay. You guys, your EXO did a very good job rolling that radio call. I was actually wondering if I wanted to like emphasize to you that it was a very important roll she made, but she made it anyway, so that was good, because otherwise it would have just been your awareness test and be like, yeah, your EXO doesn't hear anything on the radio and there's nobody fucking here. You would have had to just roll to, like, do a grid search or something for those poor motherfuckers.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
but once again, you're competent. We're at about 2 hours, so I feel that's a good place to round up the session. Basically, those guys are covered with military intelligence about potential enemy troop movements and targets. So, if you guys want to, like, talk amongst yourselves and kind of figure out, like, okay, what kind of target would we like to take out? You wrote your report pretty good, and you have the ear of the majors, and now you did really well on that job for that intelligence officer, so you can probably have your pick of targets as far as new targets go, and I will not go ahead and immediately roll a new mission type if you guys want to talk about that.
Yeah.
All right.
That mission wasn't super dangerous, but, you did do it very competently. We'll call that a good 300 XP, nice and round.
Is that enough for me to get Blink? I should check.
I think it is. I think it's Blink. I think Blink and Conjure are both 300.
Oh, I can get Earth Coffin now.
Oh god. Do we have another medal ceremony?
What?
Isn't that the last one you need for your Earth tree?
No, I still need 400 after that for gravity pull.
Oh, okay.
So I need to get that gravity will spell.
Alright, well, let me check here. Let me see if I can get Blink.
Technically, it's a gravity well spell, but I bet there's probably even better gravity well spell in the
Oh, wait, I need
non-able to be gone spells.
Oh, I have to get Air Dash first before I get Blink.
So technically, it is enough XP to buy Blink, but you cannot yet access Blink.
Yeah, no, because I only had 200 experience left over from last time. So, which is why I didn't get Air Dash. But now I can get Air Dash. And then I just need another 50 for Blink.
Well, you'll get there. And obviously your companions get, 150 if they want to spend it on anything. Or they want to stockpile. Alright, well, that was good. Yeah, so like I said, these guys are flush with, like, okay, so we were out in the woods for, like, a couple months, just eyeballing stuff, taking pictures, writing notes about troop shipments, spying on stuff. So we could figure that out. And like I said, just once you guys figure out what you want to do, just make sure you give me a couple days to prep it.
Yeah,
because I am actually pretty flexible. All right, well, I'll go ahead and cut the recording here since we're we're done. There's not much to talk about. Good mission, everybody. Hope everybody had fun.
Good mission.
I'm going to get hit the deck from my companion.
Solid.
Because he's precious. He's the core man.
He is very important.
He's old man Raph. He's seen some shit. He knows when to get down.
Alrighty, so if you like this video, if you're watching on the YouTube version, go ahead and give it a like. Leave any comments you have in the comment section down below. Nobody ever comments on these videos, other than, like, the twice people have done that. So that's, really brightens our day. And if you're new here and you want more of this, subscribe, because we're still doing sessions. So everybody will see you guys next time. We're going to go ahead and stop that recording.